Okay, let's get started. Welcome to day one of the Create Anyway Masterclass. I'm Jordan Blacera. I will lead the empowerment session after David does his fantastic critiques. And thanks for joining us on this 5-day adventure. We are really. Let's get started. Oh my gosh, gotta be kidding me. To day one of the Create Anyway Masterclass.
Hang on, everybody.
I'm Jordan. Things Blacera. Tell. I will lead the empowerment. We'll stop this.
It wouldn't be a Zoom masterclass if there wasn't a little bit of tomfoolery, huh?
As David says, things cannot be both new and perfect at the same time. So where are we at? Thanks for joining us on this 5-day adventure. And you can put any questions in the chat as we go along. Murphy's Law, yes, thank you for that grace, Terry. So the masterclass is designed to help you create better work, be more confident and at ease with the creative process, and create more meaningful work and work that is more fulfilling to you. So I'm going to introduce David, and then he's going to get started. So his long and storied career as an artist began in the 5th grade with Mrs. Strader, who brought in a bunch of materials and said, make a totem pole. And he was hooked. He was hooked from that point.
We were studying Native American history or culture. Yeah.
And he spent time in his local community college in the theater department designing sets. And he was good at it. He kept some of those stage plans. They were fantastic. And he would later go on to attend one of the best art schools in the world, Art Center, College of Design. And then eventually he would come to teach there for 12 years. And he was invited to be eventually on the portfolio review committee. And what that committee did was the students halfway through their tenure at Art Center would have this portfolio review, and a series of 2, 3, 4 instructors would look at their body of work and then help them to focus for the remainder of their time at Art Center. So he's been looking at artwork with his discerning eye and giving feedback for a very long time. He also taught at a private community art school in Los Angeles. Then that student body was all ages, children's, teens, adults. And he taught there for a total of 23 years, and 7 of those years, the final 7, he became the director of education. And I was the director of administration for all of those 7 years as well. And between the two of us, we ran the day-to-day operations of that school. And we have the unique perspective of the student, the artist, the student and the artist, the teacher, and then the school that is the umbrella for all of that learning and instructing to take place. And David fast became a very well-beloved, in-demand teacher there, adding a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th class, and his classes filled up and had waiting lists on them very consistently. So he's also a professional working artist and is currently creating work for an upcoming exhibit at the San Luis Obispo Museum of Art next year in April. And we also, I collaborated with him on the book he authored, Create Anyway, to help artists become more empowered and confident artists. And lastly, he has experienced the many aspects of the creative spectrum and what happens when you take your work and you put it out into the world. So he's experienced everything from people purchasing his work, and then some of those collectors, one woman in particular came to one of his opening receptions and went around the whole exhibit, and then came up to him at the end and said, I was so excited to come and see your new work because I love the piece that I have. And I have to say, I was so disappointed in this work and I found nothing that I wanted to purchase. And I just thought you should know that little gem of information. And so he's experienced that all the way to another collector emailing him after several years and saying, I can't tell you how many hours I have contemplated your piece of artwork. It reveals something new to me over the years, and I love it. To most recently, a woman who bought some pieces saying, I get so much joy from looking at your work and from having your work. So you are in for a treat. And David, let's get started on the critique portion.
All right, beautiful. So welcome again, everybody, on this 5-day critique coaching discussion session. A couple things I want to let you know before we begin. We have